you probably know, over the past 4 years, in response to tragic events that either put life at risk or cause the loss of life, the City of Chicago has passed a series of ordinances designed to protect residents of high-rise buildings as well as city emergency response workers. These new laws and regulations have naturally elicited much debate and in some cases anxiety because of either the real or perceived costs attached to them. And now, because of the upcoming municipal elections, these laws, unfortunately, are being used as political fodder. Because of this, I want to take a few minutes of your time to explain what has happened and where we're at. It's important to note, however, that these laws and regulations are complex and every building is slightly different from the next one. If after viewing this, your building would like a more detailed conversation regarding these issues, call me. I'll come to your building and I'll bring the experts with me. In the summer of 2002, the City Council passed what's known as the Exterior Wall Maintenance Ordinance. This law is designed to protect the structural integrity of high-rise buildings as well as pedestrians who may travel in its shadow. This ordinance called for review by a licensed engineer every 4 years of the integrity of exterior walls and the repair of problems that are identified by this examination. Most buildings are in the middle of their second cycle. They've done 2 critical exams and are in the midst of their second cycle of repairs. Last year I convened a meeting with the fire commissioner and the building commissioner, and we invited the managers and condo boards of all high-rises in the 46th Ward. Many attended. Following suggestions made at that meeting, we asked the building commissioner to have the 4-year cycle begin after repairs are completed. This would allow most buildings to do their critical exams every 5 or 6 years instead of the current 4. It would save them a great deal of money. Since all buildings by now have taken care of deferred maintenance on their exterior walls, I've also asked the Commissioner to consider the possibility of further increasing the time required between exams based on the construction of each type of building. We will be offering amendments to codify these suggestions. In the meanwhile, the Commissioner has agreed, if you contact him, he will consider extending the time of your examination to begin after your repairs are completed. Since 1975, all high-rises have been required to include sprinklers in their construction. Residential and commercial buildings built prior to 1975 were previously grandfathered in. Through the 1990s and first years of the century, ordinances to require sprinklers in all high-rise buildings were introduced in the City Council. They were under review by the Council and appropriate city departments, and there was a great deal of lobbying being done, especially by the sprinkler industry, for their passage. The horrible and tragic fire at 69 West Washington in 2005 dovetailed with these efforts, creating a final push for sprinklers that led to the passage of the Life Safety Evaluation Ordinance. While people expressed concerns at our hearings about the cost of implementation, there were many 46th Ward residents who supported this ordinance because of their own experiences with fires in their high-rise buildings. This law treats residential high-rises differently than it treats commercial buildings. I want to talk about the residential requirements. First, all residential high-rises built from 1975 on must have sprinkler systems. Second, all high-rises that are exempt from sprinkler systems were required to submit a life safety evaluation by January last year, 2006. This exam had to be performed by a licensed architect or engineer. Third, all high-rises that don't already have them must install a 2-way communication system in each stairwell by the year 2012. Fourth, all residential high-rises must have 1-hour fire-rated doors to their stairwell entrances. 5, existing high-rises must supply the Chicago Fire Department with basic building information. The life safety evaluation assigns points to the building that is based on the construction of the building and the fire safety elements. It also is designed to identify things that the building needs to do by 2012 in order to pass the life safety evaluation and remain exempt from having a sprinkler system. The 2-way communication system is required on every 5th floor of each stairwell. It has been suggested that we allow for wireless technology for this system, since this is a large expense and wireless is the new technology. I've been working with the Fire Commissioner to explore this option. There's currently a pilot for wireless communication systems being conducted in New York City by their fire department. The results will be reviewed by our fire department. I'll also go to New York City and learn more. This system is not required to be installed until 2012, so there's time for us to make changes to the code allowing for this technology if, in fact, it turns out to be a safe and viable alternative. After the passage of the Life Safety Evaluation Ordinance, it became clear that certain buildings built before World War II have particular problems meeting these requirements. These vintage buildings have unique construction elements, and they are being faced with millions of dollars in assessments in some instances because they are like a round peg being put in a square hole. In conjunction with Alderman Leslie Hairston, who also has a number of these buildings in her ward, I began exploring ways to lessen the impact of the Life Safety Evaluation Ordinance on these structures without in any way compromising the safety of the building residents or emergency response workers. And working together with the residents and the fire department and the building department, we've made a lot of progress over the past months. These efforts to make this law make sense for these vintage buildings in no way compromises or impacts our work with other high-rise buildings. Governing does not mean choosing between all or nothing. It means finding solutions for each particular circumstance. I will continue to work on behalf of every resident and high-rise building in the 46th Ward on Lakeshore Drive and elsewhere. Thank you for your attention, and I look forward to working with you in the future.